Have you heard the news? Major changes are coming to the benefits you rely on. President Enoch Godongwana has just announced new rules and cuts that could impact your financial security, and if you're a senior relying on these social grants, you'll want to hear this. It's not just another update, this could directly affect your daily life. Imagine waking up one day to find out that the amount you receive has been slashed, or that new regulations make it harder to qualify for the benefits you've counted on. That's exactly what some seniors are facing right now. But don't worry, because in today's video, we're breaking down everything you need to know. We'll go through the new rules, the cuts, and what it all means for you. Now, I know it's tough when the system seems to be changing overnight, and it feels like you're being left behind. But don't panic just yet, there's still time to adjust, and I'm here to help you navigate these changes step by step. You'll get the full picture, from how to prepare for these shifts, to what you can do to protect your benefits. Trust me, you don't want to miss these key details, especially if you're wondering how to make sure you're not caught off guard. So, if you care about your future and want to stay in the know, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. We've got a lot to cover, and I promise you won't want to miss out on what's coming up next. Stick with me, and together, we'll get through these changes, stronger and more informed than ever. Let's dive in. First things first, what exactly has President Enoch Godongwana announced? Well, it's not just a small tweak here and there, these changes are set to shake things up for seniors who rely on social grants to make ends meet. And if you're watching this, you're probably wondering how these updates will affect you personally. Trust me, you're not alone in feeling a bit anxious about what this means for your future. To set the stage, it's important to understand that these changes are being framed as necessary adjustments in response to South Africa's financial situation. The government, facing increasing pressures from economic challenges, is now reevaluating how it allocates funds for various social programs. Unfortunately, this means that some of the benefits seniors have relied on for years are facing cuts, while new rules could make it harder to qualify for assistance. It's a lot to process, especially when it feels like the ground is shifting beneath your feet. But here's where it gets interesting. While it might seem overwhelming at first glance, there's still hope. We'll break down exactly what these changes mean for you, and most importantly, we'll discuss how to adapt and make sure you're not left out in the cold. The first major change involves the amount of money seniors will receive through social grants. You might have heard whispers about benefit cuts, and it's true, some grants are being reduced. But before you start panicking, let's put this into context. While these cuts may feel like a blow, they're part of a larger strategy designed to reallocate resources more efficiently. The government is trying to stretch its resources further to ensure that those who need help the most get it. And while that doesn't make the cuts any easier to accept, it does mean that there is still a focus on helping seniors, just in a different way than before. But what about the new rules? The eligibility requirements for some grants are being adjusted, and that's where things get tricky. Many seniors who were previously eligible may now find themselves disqualified due to stricter income thresholds or other criteria. For instance, some grants will now require proof of additional financial hardships, making it harder to access the same level of assistance. This could be a significant change for seniors who, in the past, have relied on a certain level of support to get by. This is where the confusion often sets in. How do these changes impact you directly? And more importantly, what can you do to make sure you're not caught in the crossfire? Let's break it down step by step. First, if you're already receiving a social grant, it's important to check the specifics of your benefit. Not all grants are facing the same changes, and some may be less affected than others. For example, if you're receiving an older person's grant, there might be a slight reduction in the amount you get each month. On the other hand, if you're relying on a disability grant or the child support grant, your eligibility could be altered, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose everything. The key here is staying informed. The government will be sending out updates, and local social services officers will have the latest details about how these changes will impact your specific situation. So, what's the best course of action? Reach out to your local social services office, and make sure they have your current details on file. You don't want to miss out on any updates or assistance that may be available to you. Another change that's likely to affect a large number of seniors is the adjustment in the way grants are paid. With financial strain impacting the nation as a whole, the government has indicated that some seniors might experience delays in their payments. This can be a tough pill to swallow, especially if you depend on that income to cover your monthly expenses. However, there are some steps you can take to mitigate the impact of these delays. For starters, consider diversifying your income streams. If you're able to, think about taking on part-time work or finding small ways to supplement your income. This might not be the solution for everyone, but for some, it could help fill the gap during periods of delayed payments. Additionally, there are community programs and local charities that provide assistance to seniors facing financial difficulties. While they might not be able to replace your social grant, they can help you weather the storm in the short term. Now, let's talk about the emotional side of all of this. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, especially when you've spent your entire life working hard and paying your dues, only to face the possibility of benefit cuts and eligibility changes. If you're feeling stressed, know that you're not alone. Many seniors are in the same boat, and it's completely normal to feel a sense of uncertainty. But here's the thing, change, no matter how difficult it may seem, can also be an opportunity. The reality is that the government is trying to create a more sustainable system, one that can better serve those who are most in need. While it's tough to accept these changes right now, there's a chance for you to become part of the solution. By staying informed and proactive, you can make sure that your voice is heard and that you continue to receive the support you deserve. One of the most important things you can do in times like these is to stay connected with your community. Reach out to friends, family members, and other seniors who might be in the same position as you. There's strength in numbers, and by banding together, you can share information, support one another, and even advocate for better policies. If you feel like you're being left behind or treated unfairly, don't hesitate to speak up. Your experiences matter, and the more seniors who come together to voice their concerns, the stronger the case for change will be. As we continue to navigate through these uncertain times, it's also important to take a step back and consider the bigger picture. The government's focus on reworking social grant systems is part of a much broader effort to ensure that South Africa's financial future remains stable. While the changes may not feel like they're in your best interest right now, remember that the decisions being made are for the long-term benefit of the country as a whole. In a few years, when the economy is in a stronger position, we might look back on these changes and realize that they were necessary to keep the system running smoothly. Now, I know this all sounds a bit heavy, but trust me, it's not all doom and gloom. There's still a lot of opportunity out there for seniors who are willing to stay proactive and adapt to the new rules. Whether it's reaching out for assistance, exploring new income options, or simply staying informed, there's a path forward for everyone. So, what can you do right now? The best thing you can do is stay engaged. Make sure you're up to date on all the latest information, and if you're unsure about any of the changes, don't be afraid to ask questions. The more you know, the better equipped you'll be to navigate these uncertain waters. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that you're not alone in this. We're all in this together, and by sticking together and staying informed, we can get through this. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest news. And if you've got questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I'll be checking in regularly and will do my best to answer all your queries. We are going to get through these changes stronger, smarter, and more prepared for whatever comes next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.